Everyone, welcome to Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And I am Tip.
And today we're going to talk about the finale of Book of Boba Fett and the new episode of Peacemaker, which I think is the next list. Is the episode before the finale.
The penultimate episode.
Oh, yeah. And
one of my favorite words.
SAT word. And did everyone watch South Park, new episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Tolkien?
Tolkien. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
what is that? What is South Park doing right now? Are they making fun of themselves? Are they trying to save face? Like, what is the exact message? Like the pajamas.
Trying to hide that.
What is happening here? We'll get into all this and more on this week's episode of Zealots. I'm super excited. Let's get this started. We're gonna be talking about Boba Fett.
Yeah, Major, you have some talking points you wanted to like.
I mean, the whole episode. Let's just break it down. General thoughts on the series as a whole. Who wants to go first? Robbie?
Oh man, yeah, I really enjoyed all the Tuscans and the sad ending to
Tuscans.
that.
Get it back
Yeah.
to tank.
Oh yeah, back to the Tuscans. Yeah.
Well,
oh man, and this last episode was just packed with action.
From a whole bunch of different genres, right? We have some
all
westerns,
kinds of stuff happening.
We have some kaiju fight, almost. A little Godzilla, a little King Kong. What about you, Forrest? What do you think about?
Oh yeah, a little King
well,
Kong. I even said
it's
that.
very evident they only had enough material for 2 episodes. Yet
coming in swinging.
Just kind of they can't throwing everything in there.
Yeah, because 2 of the episodes just were Mandalorian, and like the first 4 were just condensed into 1. So this really should just been like a 2-hour movie, I feel.
Oh yeah,
and you can definitely tell they put aside a large portion of the budget for the final episode with the rancor and the King Kong homage.
Which I'm glad.
Yeah,
budget allocation's important.
Were you all sad to see Cad Bane go so early?
Did he die? I guess we'll get into. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's in the end.
There's a little blinking light and some beeping noise. That's a little suspect.
If Boba Fett
means
can survive being thrown into a giant stomach in the desert, and Darth Maul can survive getting cut in half, I'm sure Cad Bane can survive being stabbed in the heart. Because like maybe his heart's like in his feet because he's an alien. So
he like breathes through those tubes.
Right, exactly. It bypasses everything. So I mean, it doesn't even use the road.
After watching it again and like some reviews, they were talking about how you were actually hearing him just like gasp for air, but it's coming out like his chest, where his like respirator system thing he's got going.
Yeah, it's really cool. For those who don't know, he has that so he can't get force choked because he goes up against Jedi all the time, or I guess just Force people in general, because Jedis aren't supposed to use force choke. That's generally a no. That's a Sith thing to do. But sometimes you gotta watch out for those Sith Jedi. They're pretty sneaky. So no, I think Cad Bane's really cool. I hope he's not dead. I would love to see a prequel series for Cad Bane spinoff.
Hey, don't give him any ideas.
I think that'd be really cool, as long as they don't like push the character out. As long as it's like as brutal as Fennec Shin was in the last 5 minutes of this episode.
Oh yeah,
they'll probably have like.
What if Cad Bane comes back, but he's like, I'm done being an assassin, and he switches profession.
Kill the character. Don't do it. Kill the character off.
He should become a dentist.
Dentist.
His teeth were really white, despite being sharp. Change his name to Cad Boon. That's the opposite of Bane.
Yeah, he took great care of those things.
Oh. What's the opposite of joke? Whatever Forrest just said. So let's break down this episode.
Oh yeah, and not too far into the episode, you have Grogu shows up. What does he have on him?
Cute was Grogu in that X-wing? like fucking adorable. Why?
I love how they're doing it all practical too, and not a CGI character.
Right.
If Grogu's so powerful, I mean, what's his role later on? I mean, that's my question. There's so much mystery with that character.
Bella's girlfriend because he kicked Grogu out.
I think we might get like I don't know. It'd be cool if like we get Darth Grogu.
Dude, that's
Darth Small.
Like an evil Yoda.
What if he's like the new Anakin, young, and who knows where he's going to be in the future?
That's exactly it. You know, the real question is how many more years are they going to milk this Grogu IP? Are we talking 20 years?
When the toy sales decline.
The toy sales will never decline. We will have more babies. Those babies will grow up. They will see Grogu and they will want a Grogu plush.
Well, is Tickle Me Elmo
in the future? In the future, they're going to remember him as that Disney Yoda.
That Disney Yoda.
Yeah, when I guess Lucasfilm gets the rights back.
Honestly, I'm getting tired of Baby Grogu. I'm tired.
I know, because
I want to see it grow up, powerful and evil.
So you want to skip? So I mean, that would actually be cool. So now, like, if they introduce the character of Grogu, which they have, check that off the to-do list, right? In this plan, you now have a character that can live hundreds and hundreds of years, 600, 900 years. So you can jump ahead now in the Star Wars lore, 600 years if you want to, and we still have a known character. So I think Grogu does give them the opportunity to be able to jump forward in time centuries and centuries.
Just a whole nother generation ahead.
Right? And then, but we still, as the audience, have a character that we know and can relate to. Because if
that would be interesting.
If the book of Boba Fett showed one thing, it's that Star Wars is too afraid to let go of the past.
Well, by that logic, Yoda could be a Knights of the Old Republic. Because that was like what? That's like 1,000 years in the past?
It was only 900.
Okay, so maybe
Yoda's
father though.
Just missed it. If he has fathers, we don't know how that species works.
Like Namex, they just asexually reproduce.
Yeah, aren't they the foundlings? Kind of like a magical being.
I have no idea. We don't know anything. George Lucas has been very purposefully vague on the Yoda character and was very strict in like the old legends and like the current canon kind of. Well, it's more respected in this current canon because it's bought by Disney now. But they don't really just talk much about Yoda. Like he's purposely vague, which was like Boba Fett before we explored him this season.
That's basically what Disney's about now. They're like all these mysterious characters. We're going to take away all the mystery from them.
Yeah, flush them all out. Just, in my opinion, hopefully, this is just maybe this is too much to ask for, but do a better job. If it's going to be about Boba Fett, make it about Boba Fett, right? I mean, I wasn't one of these diehard Boba Fett fans, like, coming into this show, right? I wasn't like, oh, I grew up for like 20 years, Boba Fett's like the greatest bounty hunter. No, I grew up being like, Boba Fett, that's hilarious. Like, he looks so cool and he dies like a moron.
I do think
with his jetpack.
Yeah, it's funny. I do think like the most popular bounty hunter in pop culture is Boba Fett.
Yeah,
I think mainly because he was just so memorable. I think it was the helmet.
We just had a cool helmet.
He has a cool helmet.
Because that's the main thing you remember is the helmet.
How cool does the Mandalorian look? Oh, like that stainless steel. That's like buying a car and you're like, oh, I love this color in green. And then like some douchebag like drives up next to you and he's got the same car and it's like this silver chrome. And you're like, fuck, that looks so much better. Like, I just want someone to this Halloween. I want to go as like a couple costume, like Boba Fett and Mando. I think that'd be so much fun. Like go to the bars, go downtown or whatever, go get some drinks, and you're just walking around like you and Mando or you and Boba. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, I think that there'll definitely be 2 Halloween costumes.
Yeah, very, very popular stuff.
Spray painted cardboard.
Where was Luke? Or what was Luke doing he was so busy he couldn't even drive Grogu back to Tatooine?
Oh, maybe the church.
But the ants were building the church. He didn't even have to do anything.
He couldn't leave the temple.
He's watching
by itself
with the Force.
There was no one else there.
He could have projected a Force ghost at the very least, like he did in The Last Jedi.
Could have done something. Just
he's
weird.
working on that.
Weird.
He's working on that next movie like 5 years from now.
Yeah. Well, Luke is a very imperfect character. I think that's something people put Luke on a pedestal. But he's very, got into the Force game pretty late, and has a really dark side.
Yeah. I was looking at a meme on Facebook, and it was like basically, when Luke is taking off Vader's helmet, you hear shots in the background, and there's no rebel pilots or rebel soldiers on the Death Star, so the shots must be the stormtroopers shooting each other to get on the escape pods. So,
that's dark.
Yeah,
interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. It puts a lot into context.
What?
Yeah. So, but I'm also trying to remember. All right, so what else? All right, so Rancor.
So
that happens.
But that happens later on. So we get Grogu back, right? Although he doesn't meet up with Mando yet. And then, so we get this scene where Fennec Shan is explaining to Boba Fett, the setup, right? She's explaining where Santo is, where the mods are, and where the green guys are. But she's explaining it to Boba Fett. And my question is why? Why isn't Boba Fett in charge of his troops? I like the show not tell, or in this case, I guess show and tell that the writers are doing, that the show is doing. I understand the writing method to fill the audience in, but Mando is a stranger. Why don't you just have Boba Fett explain it to Mando? Why is Fennec Shan explaining it to Boba Fett in Boba Fett's show? I just think the writing, it's almost like they didn't like Boba Fett.
He's just the leader to be the face.
And then, I guess he's he's stoic, right? He only has 6 lines in the original trilogy. But then later on, Fennec Shan comes out and she's like, "Oh, Boba, you're too emotional to fight. So which one is it? Is he too stoic and doesn't say anything? Or is he too emotional? Is there no in between?"
Whatever the
fuck
to be.
Here is probably my biggest complaint of the episode, which I did love, by the way. I'm just nitpicking here, right? When they're talking oh, something doesn't feel right, and then Boba Fett tries to reach out on the walkie-talkies.
Yeah, and then the ambush starts.
He says they've laid a trap. How fucking hard is it to have Boba Fett yell out, "It's a trap," like General Akbar, for a show that prides itself on shoving 1,000 references and Easter eggs into every scene? How could you say they've laid a trap instead of "it's a trap"? Right. That's all you had to do.
I didn't even think of that. That's
just an extra ounce of fan service. But I would have the GIF, everyone's "Oh!" scream, that would have been me if Boba Fett was "It's a trap."
I would much prefer if he was he mistrusted a fart and pooped his pants and was "It's a crap."
I will let Seth
nice Forrest.
know to do that in the next. When is Family Guy gonna
the prequels?
Make fun of the prequels? That's what I'm waiting for. If I was a billionaire, that's probably the first thing I would do is pay Seth MacFarlane to do the prequels. Here's all the money you need.
I love the Star Wars episodes.
I still watch them.
Who would play Anakin? I guess would Stewie still play Anakin?
Who cares? Yeah.
Who would? I guess would.
Whatever works.
Would Peter be Obi-Wan?
But they've surprised me with what characters they use, but they seem to make it work though.
One of the best is when Roger shows up in the second one. Roger from American Dad, and Stewie's like, "Have we already run out of characters already?"
Oh yeah, who was he?
Roger the alien from American Dad.
He was an Imperial officer just for a second.
Yeah, I mean, was he just there, or was he?
Yeah, he was an
in an
officer.
outfit. I don't.
Yeah, he was there in an outfit.
Roger
is always in
I forgot about that part.
Cleveland's son, Rilo. I never saw the show, the Cleveland show, but I think his son's in the third one, something. No, what's the third one called? It's Trap. Yeah.
It's a Trap.
They had a Cleveland show character, and they had an American Dad. But I don't think Stan Smith was in it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Stan Smith showed up. But you know who did show up to this battle? Two badass droids.
Oh yeah.
With shields.
Yeah, they think everybody cleared out. And then he turns on the heat vision, or
I
whatever
like
he's looking through the walls with.
I like
we'll call it heat vision. It's close enough.
I like what turned the tide in the battle was just like a few people on a speeder.
Right.
Is there only like 6 of them?
Yeah.
Like, no, we're pinned down. And like 6 people show up on a speeder.
And I want to point out that if you go back and rewatch the episode, the Red Ranger, when she parks her speeder, it blocks the other guys from being able to get to the troops. It's like the worst parking of all time. That's like spin off to the side. Speaking of spinning off to the side, what about that mod? The guy who does the most pointless spin in all of Star Wars.
All he had to do was kneel down to do the same shot. He had to do this little twirl.
And it looks so bad. How does someone not cut that? How is someone on the floor? How is someone not in the editing room cutting that? Who's like, no, that was good. That was really good.
I was looking at my phone during the battle. It was just sort of a by the numbers shootout, but I don't know. I thought.
And then
by the numbers.
Show back to those.
Well, no, this was 100% by the numbers. They had a all hope is lost moment, and then the people of Freeport show up just in time.
Yeah, Save the Cat, the screenwriting book. You have to have an all hope is lost moment.
You have to have an all hope is lost,
and then you show that there is hope.
Yep.
Suddenly,
what did you guys think about the Rancor?
I mean, we all knew it was coming. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, we all knew it was coming, but it was so good. I didn't see them doing a whole Godzilla King Kong.
I like that they just showed. They teased him.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, but he was a good chunk.
He had like a puddle, have vibrations go through, just like rip off Jurassic Park too.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't, but I guess.
And how about that Christmas special pose on top of the building? On top of the Rancor.
Oh, and from the Christmas special.
He was like riding a dinosaur, not a Rancor, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that was like.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's that kind of minute fan service
that they throw some. That's why I love.
But you can't say it's a trap. They've laid a trap. Fuck off. I'm so mad about that.
Oh, it is a trap.
It would just become such another meme. Or if they already made a meme of them not doing it, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that reminds me. Remind me after this
meme
episode
creators
to take the Admiral Akbar and then to change to they've laid a trap, and then I'll put Boba's face.
Twitter face. We need some content on that.
They've laid a trap.
So.
Wait.
That's after Fett killed the bad guys.
Is there a book? Where is the book of Boba Fett in this TV show?
Very, very rare
in the Star Wars
universe. Yeah, he did write something
on the tablet.
He wrote that tablet.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that was the book. Yeah,
is that the book?
On paper.
That's weird.
Is it paper papyrus?
No, it was a tablet.
And I present to you the offer of
nothing. A reference. I present to you an offer of a Godfather 2 reference.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like a pointless scene. I guess that it kills the time.
And then
because he already told them he's not surrendering and that he doesn't want to work with them, so like literally sent the guy to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm just sending him out there.
Basically, be a distraction, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they can come out like badasses. I really enjoyed them coming out in the jetpacks, but it was also really hard not to just imagine them like on a green screen on wires, like floating, like just two grown men floating on wires as they were coming to the jetpack. wasn't quite seamless there. Yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed the fight. You know, even if it was a little bit paint by numbers, it was still, you know,
they had to show gear.
Still good.
Had the knee missiles.
There were some dumb parts, like Boba's on the Rancor, and so like the writers have a problem. They have to get Boba off. They have to get rid of the Rancor so Boba can fight Cad Bane one-on-one.
And Cad Bane just
we'll just use a flamethrower, and then the Rancor will just hide like a little scared dog.
Yeah, apparently that's his weakness.
Right. I just think as
he did get a mouthful of fire at one point.
Right, or at least top 10 largest IPs in the world. Like, you can't find someone who knows how to write from point A to point B, or from point B to point A. Can do a better job than Cad Bane comes up with the flamethrower.
Yeah. Maybe, well, it'd been better than Cad Bane throwing like some Rancor treats.
That's true.
And then
that's true. And then let's talk about one other thing that might be bad writing. So after the fight, Boba and Fennec are walking through the streets, and he gets one of those Star Wars fruits, and he gives it to the Wookiee, and then you hear one of the mods say, "How come the Wookiee's the only one who gets it?" And I think that's a reference to Chewie not getting a medal at the end of A New Hope. That's so obscure.
I don't know if they meant to do that.
But if you go back and listen, there's the guys like, how come the Wookiee's the only one who gets a medal? And like the popular complaint was, how come the Wookiee was the only one who didn't get the medal?
Well, so if you ever go to like a Comic-Con, ask Jon Favreau that, I'm sure he's gonna be like, yeah, that was totally what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could definitely see him doing that.
I mean, there's a point where Star Wars IP becomes so big that everything becomes self-referential, whether you mean it or not, just from like speculation and YouTube comments.
Yeah. Well, we will just have to wait and see when do they still do commentary? Like, because DVDs aren't really a thing anymore, but do they still?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, they probably just do interviews online and press releases and Comic-Con for all that stuff. Guys, let me ask you.
Did we get to Grogu rolling in there? With
Grogu being super cute and badass. Yeah,
who's gonna hook up with that Twilight guy?
Look, I'll tell you what. More than a Cad Bane series, I want an Amy Sedaris. I want a Pella spinoff. Call it Hangar 18 or whatever.
She is kind of funny.
She was the best part of this episode. Just the whole time when she first saw Grogu back in the hangar. And she was like, her name is Grogu. When she was talking to R2D2, she's like, that's a terrible name.
Yeah.
Right? And it is. It's a terrible name. I mean, I'm definitely used to it now. But
I've definitely gotten more used to it than
that initial reaction hearing his name was Grogu. That was gross.
I'm just like, I kind of like Baby Yoda more.
Yeah, I'd rather call him Baby Yoda, even that's not canonical.
Yeah, even though it's not Yoda.
They called him Groda. Just the best of both worlds.
What if they tried to explain it off as he was related to Yoda instead of just one of his species?
Well, he is technically related to Yoda, but like everyone.
Well, I guess if you go back.
No. I want to hear what Force has to say. How is this species technically related?
Well, everyone has a common ancestor,
At some point, wait
out of here. Yeah, I know you're gonna go back to the fucking Big Bang Theory.
Who knows where it popped up?
Yeah, bro, we're all related, just like me and you, bro. We're spiritual brothers, bro.
No, I mean like genetically.
We're made from the same stardust, bro.
Well,
yeah,
I thought it could be possible.
It could be possible.
So right after that, you shows off the chainmail again.
I wonder if Grogu's ever going to say his first word.
It sounded like he was going to talk this episode. I thought I heard a
little bit of baby noises.
Yeah, gurgling.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm tired of Baby Yoda.
Well, he's going to be he's going to be in season 3, it looks like. So.
Bro, he's the future. He's the future of Star Wars.
Yeah. We're just like, we're not gonna lose all this. Like, I think maybe like Disney upper echelon was like, we got to put Baby Yoda back in the Mandalorian season 3. I know you wanted to get rid of him, but
you could hate this season, and that's your right. That's totally fine. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but I'll tell you, it got the Mandalorian back with Grogu, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah. So it's back.
Yeah, they're totally gonna do it.
Sort of like what the series is based off, that manga. So I guess it's like, what is it? It's hard.
My question to you, Robbie, speaking of, are they going to do it? Are they going to do a Cobb Vanth spinoff? What is happening with Cobb Vanth in this post-credit scene?
Maybe he's going to be the new Rangers, the New Republic.
I do like the whole Western thing he's got going.
Because
well, my power's back on. Yay!
That's it.
Oh, nice.
Celebrate.
Well, I'm glad we didn't drain the battery of your phone, because there could have been like an emergency.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
You're just out in the mountains.
Now, let's get... Does anyone have any final thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett before we close up this chapter of our podcast?
Did y'all feel Black Chrysanthemum was used properly? Because it's sort of like he was like dogpiled on. They just sort of showed up.
I'd like to see more of him. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I wish
Boba
Fett's armor would go back to what it used to look like the teal instead of like the dark green they're going for. Get rid of that skirt he wears. Perhaps.
I don't know. I kind of like the skirt.
Well, anyway.
I want to say
season 2, but
one final thought from Tip.
Yeah.
I think the Book of Boba Fett isn't a great title. And overall, it was kind of a weak series. I feel like it was a transition, and they're leading these stories into something, something
using
more.
Like
The Mandalorian kind of became its own thing, but it's like stepping stones into creating this little armpit between the trilogies. So,
well, I always thought that this is really just Mandalorian season 2.5 with a little bit of Boba Fett mixed in, because I think the plan prior to the Mandalorian was to do a Boba Fett spin-off movie, and then I think Josh Trank, who directed the new Fantastic Four, had his nervous breakdown, and then
he tranked it.
He tranked it, yeah. I like his career. So, but I don't know. I'm sure like the small subsection of Star Wars fans who love Boba Fett are probably not.
No,
I'm sure they're
somewhat
happy with the Boba Fett show, but I don't think they were probably felt that he was serviced properly. But for people like us who are just casual like Boba Fett, it was content.
Yeah, it was content. It was good. Gave us something to talk about. Helped me over till Peacemaker on Thursday.
Yeah, and it was like just only really 5 episodes, but only 2 of those 5 were actually I enjoyed. So the rest were just sort of meh. So I don't know if they do like another season. Maybe I don't know what they could do. Maybe bring the twins back. Maybe have them travel to Hutta. And would it have made more sense for them to use the slave one or the underpaid worker one? The underpaid worker one against the robots instead of the rancor. I mean, I know they wanted to have the rancor, but maybe he could have had stand the ship, and he could have done the rancor. So it just seemed weird they didn't use that asset at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the ship could have taken them out, or the rancor could have taken them out, and it just made more sense.
Why not have both?
The rancor. Yeah. You have Mando. Why not just be like, Mando, come with me? They go back to the jet. They go back to the palace. They grab the plane and the rancor, and then just fucking light that city up. It would be too destructive.
Well, maybe he thought the ship would cause too much property damage.
Yeah. Little did he know about this rancor.
Yeah. Well, I think the rancor can't shoot rockets.
That's true. That is true.
So,
well, you could strap rocket launchers to the rancor.
Another complaint.
That'd be cool.
I think for non-Clone Wars fans or people who just haven't seen the show, they really should have introduced Cad Bane earlier. Because I think
much earlier.
For people who didn't know who he was, I'm sure he had no significance for them.
Yeah, that should have been episode 2 reveal.
Yeah, it should have been you're supposed to you're trying to sell these guys off as rivals, and yet he's in the next to last episode with Boba Fett, and they he just casually goes over their history in the last episode. So he should have been maybe set up as the main villain, because the real main villains sucked. It was the Pipe Syndicate guy and the mayor guy. So, I thought they were.
Yeah, that's what the series did lack, was any good villain. And what is the big bad guy in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah.
Is there some big Sith Lord lurking on some forgotten planet?
What is a Sith Lord? That'd be funny.
There was Moff Gideon or whatever, and he was killed by the Mandalorian. No, he's Cad Bane.
Dead.
Wait, is he still alive?
In quotes, wink. Moff Gideon is still alive.
If he can sell merchandise, they're gonna bring him back. Well, that's really all I have. This was some parts I liked, some parts I didn't like, but it's enjoyable.
Oh, and what's up with the Mandalorian no longer being a Mandalorian?
That was kind of weird.
I mean, that's just setting up what season 3 is going to be about. Which, I mean, go ahead and do it now, so it doesn't take away one of our precious Mandalorian episodes.
Yeah, the Creed or whatever is very practical, because they all have to remove their helmets to eat anyway. So
my question is, not a Mandalorian, why not just take his helmet off when he saw Grogu?
That's true. He's like,
I mean, I've got to wash it anyway. I'm clean. But let's go ahead and talk about Peacemaker. If you really want to. Do you really want to? If you really want to.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of magical helmets.
Yeah.
So episode 7, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Right? Nice little play on words from Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Great song from the 80s. This episode opens up with a flashback of Chris and his brother Keith, Peacemaker and his brother, way back, before his brother died, and they're rocking out the Home Sweet Home, which I thought was really nice because that's how the last episode ended. It was with Peacemaker playing Home Sweet Home on Chekhov's piano. So I thought that was really nice how it opened up with the actual rock version, like that song's been with him for 40 effing years. And then we find out how his brother dies. He kills him, or more accurately, his dad kills him through him.
Yes, his dad used him as the murder weapon.
Yeah, instead of dog fighting, he had kid fighting.
Yeah, and it's like, well, they live in a trailer, but how can he afford all that quantum bending technology in his?
Well, that's why he lives in a trailer. That closet looks very expensive.
Yeah, maybe that's what he
can't afford a better house. All we can afford is to remodel the closet. All right, I guess that's all.
Well, he does have a nice house though. Like, and the show starts, but apparently they were living when he had a mullet in the 80s.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Having his two kids fight each other. I can't believe that wasn't a more lucrative business.
Yeah, well, since he's apparently a technological genius.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't want to stick out or something.
Well, this is one character I do not want a spin-off show of.
Yeah, that would be...
that would just be awful.
Yeah, so
we get the flashback, and then we see Peacemaker crying, and then Vigilantes knock on the door, and then it cuts into the intro, which I love, like James Gunn's visionary direction. He's just a really good director, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we find out Hardcore finds out about Abadayo being Waller's daughter, and then Emily Hardcore tells Mern, and Mern's like, of course I know. You think I wouldn't do a background check on the people in my group? And it's like, yeah, obviously. I just really, I guess, juxtaposed to Boba Fett writing. I just really enjoy James Gunn's writing. It's crisp and it's real and it's fresh and it's smart and it's good. It's really good.
So, I think Mern died pretty early in this episode, right?
Yeah.
About halfway through. So that was surprising. But I guess
that was surprising. He dies shooting the police officers, making kind of a last stand.
Yeah, and I thought it was... Well, I guess they had to make, the White Dragon death, the main death of this episode. They had to...
Yeah.
I don't know. And then, trying to remember, so Mern died. The other butterflies killed him.
Oh, how about the
Squishing?
Oh, what is his name? He's in the green outfit.
Judo Master.
Yeah, he's out there with some Cheetos.
He loves those things.
And those two guys come by messing
assholes,
with him.
And he steals their car and beats them up.
And the guy at the register
gives him a big thumbs up. That was great.
So what do you think he meant by he was trying to tell Peacemaker that butterflies aren't what you think?
That was one of the things I was going to ask you. Great question. I have
no idea exactly what they think, because they're looking over people, and they're gonna
maybe Judo Master was lied to the whole time, and once he finds out the truth, he'll become a good guy. Because we see in the song that Judo Master is John Cena pops him up on his shoulder. So maybe he becomes a good guy at the end when he finds out the truth. Maybe he was just lied to this whole time by Goff.
I'm feeling he's going to come he's going to show up in the last episode, and he's going to help Peacemaker and the gang.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, but I guess I really liked how Vigilante helped Peacemaker fighting his dad. Kind of went all over the place with this episode, but
Vigilante was 8 out of 10 this episode. There's one part that we'll talk about later on that I felt like it was just too much. But
when he's putting his pants down.
No, I thought that was great. That was great, right? That was
like
of
Butters.
Course. No. I was like, of course, Vigilante's one of those people who fucking pees with their pants all the way down. Like, of course.
I could totally see that.
I guess we'll talk about it now. My only complaint with Vigilante this episode was like when John Cena, spoiler alert, kills his dad. John Cena is he's in the zone. He is such a good actor, and he was having such a moment. And I just wish James Gunn let John Cena shine in that moment as Chris Smith, who just killed his dad, and he's crying in the middle of the street. But you had to just go and marvel it up just a little too much with Vigilante coming in there. Well, now's a weird time to work on those face exercises.
Yeah, the Feige on your shoulder.
Yeah, use that line on the car ride home.
That did
right,
make
or when they were riding, when they're riding away, be like, "Hey, man, that was a really weird time to practice your facial exercises." But yeah, like just let John Cena shine as an actor. He's really good, and he was really in the zone. This was his moment to show off some character depth. Him crying in the streets. I mean, we've seen him cry multiple times before, I guess, but he was really feeling it this time. You could tell, and then like the whole moment was just undercut by not even a good quip. But I tell you what, besides that, Vigilante was spot on this whole episode.
Yeah, I do think I wish Peacemaker had his helmet with him, because that was kind of the only way he could defend himself against his dad's armor was with I don't know if he had the one with the shock, or did he have the X-ray one on?
Well, I mean, he had at the time
what else did they use besides those two?
So no, that's the only two they used. It would have been cool
he had
to
a
see
bunch of
him
them.
Use like a different helmet to fight off his dad.
I'm curious what else he had.
I do like.
I guess we'll never know. Or I guess maybe he can grab the helmets now that his dad's dead. Right? There's no one else there's no one alive to track him.
Yeah, of course. I would.
Vigilante takes the suit, but touches it up. How crazy would that be?
Vigilantes
makes it his colors and stuff. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because his suit is fucked because he threw a grenade and did not run away from it.
That'd be really cool.
You think Vigilante will get his own spinoff?
No.
If he survives next episode?
No, not at all. I hope not. I do think this is getting a second season, and I think he will be I think he'll show up in season 2. But I don't think he's got enough gusto to carry his own show.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the reason I bring it up is he actually had an actual comic book series that lasted.
Oh, did he?
60 issues, yeah. So he's Peacemaker only had one limited series that lasted 4 issues. I tried to look for a Peacemaker series, there isn't one. I think they're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing some Peacemaker stuff now. But
yeah,
Peacemaker just an ancillary character in the DC universe about Vigilante. He showed up in the Teen Titans, and he was basically DC's version of the Punisher. His family was killed by the mob. But his series lasted. But Peacemaker showed up in that series, that comic book series. So it's kind of funny that Peacemaker's not the lead and Vigilante's the supporting character, because in the comics it was the other way around.
That's funny. That's kind of like Robin.
That's why I thought he might be
show Titans.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll just see. I'd love to see a Booster Gold series from James Gunn. That'd be great.
That would be good. I would really enjoy that.
I'm wondering if his partnership with Marvel is going to end after Guardians 3.
Probably not. Guardians 3 will make $1 billion, and then they'll sign another contract.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I think there's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
I think it's probably going to come out this Christmas, because I
love James Gunn.
The third one's coming out next year, I believe.
It's so far away.
I also want to talk about y'all all saw that trailer, not trailer, but that promo I sent you for all 4 DC movies coming out this year.
Yeah. Are we done with Peacemaker?
Yeah, I just want to talk about that before. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So yeah, with Black Adam, The Flash, and Aquaman, and the Batman.
How good does Black Adam look?
I knew he was
going to look good, but it looks so good.
I might actually be looking forward to. I'm looking forward to more than Aquaman and Flash, which isn't
for
safe,
sure.
But I had no interest in Black Adam. I thought it was just like a handy project for The Rock, which it is. But I think it can actually be good because it's going to introduce the JSA. And Pierce Brosnan looks great as Dr. Fate. So that's what I'm really excited for, and for Hawkman. So, I think if Black Adam results in a Hawkman, Dr. Fate, or JSA spinoff, then yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, you'll be happy. You'll be one happy camper.
Yeah, but I think the Flash footage was nothing exciting. The Aquaman footage was like one scene where he's wearing a blue suit. Which is comically accurate. He had like a blue suit in like the 80s or 90s. So
the sad part is you're gonna have to watch like the Flash regardless if you want to or not, because it's Flashpoint. They're gonna reset everything. So in order to understand what's happening, you kind of have to watch it.
I'll watch it with Rick Trex. How about that?
Deal.
I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out to be amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. No, spoiler alert. I'm gonna make you watch it for the podcast. So,
hey guys, I was thinking,
prepare yourself.
Now that Disney owns Marvel, right? They could cross over the Disney universe, like the Little Mermaid, into like Aquaman could go and save the Little Mermaid.
Well, first of all,
how crazy would that be?
But he could swim with Namor, though. Who I think is going to be in the new Black Panther movie. Without Black Panther.
My question is, who wants that? What audience is begging for this IP mashup?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Now, if you want to tell me Lion King was located in Wakanda, I'm all for that. But
boom, there you go. Now you're thinking.
But Aquaman and the Little Mermaid, I don't think anyone's asking for this IP.
Or if the fairy godmother studied under the Ancient One from Cinderella. If the fairy godmother from Cinderella studied under the Ancient One from Doctor Strange. Yeah.
The fairy godmother is the Sorcerer Supreme back in the day.
Oh yes, she was the ancienter one. So yeah, Peacemaker. I guess the big finale was with the cow, which is like a giant moth.
I was so happy for a second when they were driving off in that van, and wasn't Euronymous is like, "There's never a wrong time to rock," which is one of my favorite recurring lines from this episode. Yeah. They drive off in the distance. I had a panic for a second, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the episode's about to end. We're about to see the credit scene, or like the credit titles show up, and we're not going to see what this cow looks like." But then we get to see it, and boy, do we see it! What did you guys think about the cow? Like, holy,
basically what I thought it was going to be. It looked like more like a larva than an actual moth, but
yeah.
Huge. Oh, goodness, what is happening?
God,
how did they transport that
just
thing?
Kept zooming that out. Yeah,
I would like to try some of that nectar.
How do they
teleport
get
is their only option?
They're teleport. So they want to teleport it, and they're essentially never going to be able to find it again. After seeing it, I'm going to guess that they probably would be able to find it again.
Yeah.
But no. So basically, I'm really excited.
Teleport to some random point underground or something. I don't know.
Yeah. How are they going to kill it? How do they even have the gunpowder? Like, I don't know if they have any guns big enough to kill something like that. What's he going to do?
You just have to find the weak spots.
Yeah, the eye. Maybe it's one tooth.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, exactly. So shoot it in some spot.
I don't know. That creature did not look happy.
No, it's being.
It was not one of those Japanese Wagyu cows that get massaged and
it's just like, it was like,
yeah, that cow looked in pain. It looked sad. Maybe they don't kill it. Maybe they free it. Maybe John Cena, maybe Peacemaker learned something from his ventures with Starro. Maybe they teleport her back home.
I just want to.
That'd be lame, but I don't see how they're gonna kill something that fucking big. And I don't see how something that fucking big got taken over by a bunch of butterflies. Like, couldn't it just roll over on them before they ever captured them?
Well, there was very that big starfish. They beat that big starfish.
They did.
And I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. And it's
Ratcatcher. That'd be really great if Peacemaker just called up Ratcatcher.
That's probably
Ratcatcher just comes in on all these rats and then just fucking eats the cow.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be any more Suicide Squad cameos?
Not until I think next season.
I think Waller might make another appearance just to close up Adebayo's story. So I think she might show up on FaceTime again.
Yeah, that's actually.
I could see Amanda Waller. Maybe Bloodsport, like for a quick cameo.
Ooh, Amanda Waller, I'm calling it now. She's gonna be in the episode. She's gotta wrap things up with that like you were saying.
Well,
but I think she's also gonna be in the post-credit scene.
It's gonna tease something else in the future.
Yeah, I'm thinking post-credit scene.
Squad movie.
Yeah.
Spin-off. So, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna stink because after this week there'll be like no DC content for 2 weeks. Then the Batman.
Yeah.
So.
Ugh. And then Moonfall doesn't come out till March 30th, or not Moonfall.
That's already out.
That's already out. What's the
Moon Knight?
Moon Knight, whatever.
Well, we could talk about Star Trek. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of South Park
or Young Justice.
I know. I said South. I said Star Trek.
Well, we got to wrap up over 50 minutes, but I don't know. Maybe next week we'll have more time because we'll only have to talk about Peacemaker. But Major, want to plug the social media?
Oh my gosh, do I ever? Only because I love our listeners so much and I just want to talk to them all fucking day. You can talk to us on Discord. You can find that Discord in the link below, or on our Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Zealot Podcast. Please tweet at us. Let us know what you think about Peacemaker Episode 7. What did you think about Boba Fett? Season finale? Series finale? Who the fuck knows? Usually they say something like Thanos will return or the Mandalorian will return, but we got nothing at the end of this, and I think that's because the executives at Disney don't know what to do with this IP now. I'm sure they thought they were going to get a second season, but boy, the reception has not been great. What'd you guys think? Let us know. Tweet at us. Go on Twitter, find our Discord, come join the conversation with us. We'd love to hear your thoughts on some of our favorite TV shows so far this year. I've been Major.
Negative or neutral.
Yeah, it could be all three. So, well, I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And I'm Pitt.
Bye,
Thanks for listening, guys.